Now listening to The Joint Committee.
And we're back. Today's guest for the Joint Committee is someone that is going to provide a very valuable service that we can all, I think all of our listeners can take part in. He provides us with life's best currency, that would be time. A time-saving practice which us cultivators obviously could use. And what I'm talking about is being able to come and sex your brand new plants that you just pop seeds of. So instead of waiting, 2-3 months to get the thing up and rolling and see where you're at, you could get your shit figured out in 2 weeks. You pop your seed, and then our friend Wendell here from Curated Leaf Services can come by and he'll explain exactly what he can do. But the bottom line here is time, and time is money, and he can save both of those things for you. So, hello, Wendell.
Hi, Wendell.
Hey, Wendell.
How's
Welcome
it going, guys?
to the sesh. Welcome to the Joint Committee.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for stopping by, man. I know
anytime.
you ended up, this is how many, not how many, but do you have busy days?
I have steady days.
Steady days?
So I've started a business in August.
Okay.
And, when I first started, well, let me give you a brief story about my background.
Cool.
So I've been in the biotech field for about 10 years now. I'm a molecular biologist. And I used to work for a company called Medicinal Genomics, where it was a biotech company that designed genetic assays to detect microbial on cannabis. So they provided the tools to third-party labs to test for pathogens or microbials. So I was an R&D scientist for them for about a year, and I helped them develop assays. And one of the products that we decided to develop down the pipeline was to create genetic tools for growers to use in-house to test for sex, CBD, party mildew, botrytis, and so on. So it's providing all the upstream tools that a grower could use that's beneficial to help them cultivate their plants. So around that time, unfortunately, Medicinal Genomics had a parent company called Cortigen, and they're involved in the pediatric diagnostic testing. And their business was going under. They weren't making any more cash, because when you're dealing with insurance likes to collect your money, but they hate to pay. Right. So they pay much later as they can. So it was a very tough business model.
Should be called in case.
Yeah, in case, exactly. So the company ended up going under, and Medicinal Genomics decided to spin out their business as a brand new startup. And unfortunately, you can only keep just a couple of scientists on board. So I got laid off, and I was like, you know what? I've always been interested in the cannabis space. I always wanted to start my own business. And the biotech field, it's a monster. It's a roller coaster. It goes up and down. One company will close, and there'll be another company starting out brand new in the same breath. So I was like, let me try something new. I want to have my own business, and I decided to do genetic testing as a service for local growers around the area, so around the Northeast region. So I decided to try it out, and I did a lot of cold calling and reached out to growers and dispensaries, and there was interest, and I felt like, okay, this could be something that I could take from proof of concept to an actual business. So fast forward to today, I've had clients, I've had sales, and I've got to meet a lot of interesting people. I met people in the dispensary space, and I met people who are growing in their own basement, have a full-out build-out in their own basement, and they're looking for the best ways to help them cultivate and be able to sex their plants a lot faster.
Oh, this is a huge step.
Yeah,
Because, the time you can save. When I first heard about it, I was like, oh my God, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's like, for us as growers, you gotta, not waste essentially, but you're using all that dirt to keep them, alive, so you can sex them down the road when they're ready to pre-flower, and all that time and water and nutrient, whatever, however you grow, you totally come in and just go, nope, not anymore. Pay me to do this, and you're good.
Yeah. So there is waste. There's curtailed labor. There's resources, like you mentioned, and a lot of time. So the convenience thing about this business is very valuable, right? So be able to come in, take a sample from a plant in the sealing tray, a small hole punch, 4 millimeters small, put that in a 96 well plate format. I could do 95 samples at a time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, 95 samples at a time.
I saw that.
Yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah, on that plate. And extracted DNA, which takes 30 minutes of simple heat extraction. You take that DNA, you put it into the reaction, which takes about 90 minutes. And then it's a binary test. It's colorimetric. It turns from purple to yellow. If it's yellow, it's positive, and you know you have a male. So right then and there, you have the visual aspect of the test. We can actually see, there it is. There are my results. The great thing about this, you get the results same day. You know, very, very fast turnaround time. So it allows you to react a lot faster, and you're able to take that and to save a lot of money and to save a lot of time and resources. Mm-hmm. So I take a lot of pleasure doing it. I like talking to people. I love hearing about the experience and getting advice. I've never grown. I've never grown before. Yeah, but the whole science of cannabis it fascinates me because it's so new.
So tell me something. Now this has to do, I know you've been talking like that, but let's geek for a second.
Okay.
How did you feel when you first walked into your first big grow?
I was
culture shock.
Yeah, culture shock. Yes, yeah. And I was amazed. I was amazed because coming from how the cannabis used to be back in the day to where it is now, it's night and day. Now it's in the light. It's in a warehouse, 30,000 square foot warehouse, fully sophisticated, all the equipment that's involved, and it's just like, I'm very amazed how fast we've gone in the past few years. From the moment our state decided, okay, let's legalize it for medicinal purposes and let's get these dispensaries, in line application process and have them bid out the warehouse, cultivate and supply the medicine to the patient. So, it's in terms of that, industrial scale. I'm very amazed in how fast it's gone so far.
It is pretty big. Yeah, I just remember getting harassed. Remember you say if it was enough, 3 C's was enough for a cop to arrest you back in the 90s like that?
Exactly.
I still remember that, like it is now. It's like we're doing a podcast about it, open, a little bit more open about, not like, full bullhorn and stuff like that. But there's something about, too. Tell us something about, like, let's say somebody wanted to actually get your acquire your services.
Okay.
Obviously they would reach out to you, but then how would you have to would you have to meet them somewhere, or could you meet them somewhere? I know I'm just gonna
it really depends on them. I know some people have a little bit of apprehension. I don't want this guy I don't know to come into my house and
that's what I was thinking, the biggest thing,
touch my plants and know and know what I'm doing. And you have some people who are very open. They're like, hey, come in, and they'll talk me through things, have a nice conversation and stuff like that. So it really depends on the grower, and I'm fine with that. So I have a collection kit. I could mail it to them. I could meet them somewhere, and they could sample the plants themselves, and just meet me somewhere and hand me over the collection plate, and I could just do the testing somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So I have that as an option for them, and be able to have that. It makes my business more, I guess, versatile in a way where people could decide, do I trust you enough to come into my home, or, I'm fine meeting you somewhere else, and I could just give you my samples, and then you give me the results later. So I've done both ways, and I'm totally fine with it.
Right.
Yeah, but with this whole industry is very like. Because we're still under that stigma, and we're still somewhat like in that gray area, so we're still,
There's still guys that are still nervous to go to the grocery store.
Man.
Yeah.
They're watching it.
They're watching it. It's a narc. It's a setup.
I can say for sure, you came punctual, you came discreetly, you came professionally dressed, you came and did exactly what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, because East Coast of Dam just had him test a few things.
Yeah, I just had him come and show off his skills. This way we can all witness it.
Yep. Yeah.
And but yeah, like I said, he came punctual, discreet, professional. As a business owner myself, I couldn't ask for any more, especially for the service that he's coming to provide.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, I can approve. You know, everything was legit and I was very impressed. You know, inside your lab vehicle is awesome. I mean,
Thank you.
It's cool. State of the art stuff,
legit.
man. I was sitting there
I
taking
peeked,
pictures.
but-
I was like, wow, this is nuts. Like,
Well, it's where it should be. You know what I mean? Like, we need guys like him to be doing this. You know, mobily and stuff like that. Because a lot of guys don't want to send stuff in the mail.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like so. It's all.
But would like the like mailing because of the coal, would that end up actually messing with it at all?
Well, mailing, you know, it's federally illegal to mail, you know, cannabis across state.
Even like samples like that?
Yeah.
Even samples like that.
They tell you that it's okay because you probably won't get in trouble, but
yeah,
it
exactly.
contains THC.
Yeah, if it contains THC,
you're getting in trouble.
Exactly, even though it's unsmokable. You know, the sample that I collect, stem, you could send stem across state lines, which is yeah. And there's a company, they do the sex testing and they require the cotyledon, and you take a leaf print and you can ship that.
What was that, cotyledon?
Yeah, the cotyledon, the first
round.
Can you,
yes.
Yeah, explain a little bit more about that. Just kind of like.
Yeah. So the cotyledon is pretty much the first leaf that comes off from the plant.
Little round ones, right?
Yeah, the little round one. Yeah.
Those are the ones that take nutrients in from inside the seed.
Yes, exactly. For my test, we're unable to detect a gender off that because it hasn't matured enough to determine its gender yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it still has a haploid genetic material that you can't distinguish
so
yet.
it's tougher to find that chromosome.
Exactly. So we pretty much wait until 7 to 10 days. You get the set of true leaves, pretty much a second set of leaves, and sample from that.
Yes, Sam. We go fan leaves.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I think you mentioned earlier that Phylos wants those little round leaves.
Yeah.
But for sex testing, you want the regular fan.
Yeah. And I've heard from a grower at a dispensary, and they've used both platforms. They use Phylos and they use mine, and they're very discreet. They didn't want me even in their cultivation facility, which is fine. Is that option that I give them? Say, here's a collection plate.
Yep.
Here's a protocol.
I don't want to be in your room.
Yeah, exactly.
How about that?
Yeah. So yeah, here's a collection plate. Here's a protocol. When you're done collecting, give me a call. I'll come by, take the plate from you guys, and do the testing. And I was talking to the grower. He's like, "Wow, yours is a lot more easier to sample because the cotyledon, depending how much growth is passed over with these plants." It's all the way down below, so they have to bend down to take that sample. Mine, you could use any leaf. Mm-hmm. So any upper leaves, you just grab it and sample it. So it was very nice to hear that, and they were very comfortable with the sample protocol. And
this actually is going to be real beneficial too for breeding purposes.
Yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
Because now, like when you really, because I can't even count how many males, how many strong genetic solid males I've killed. Okay? Like murdered, massacred, thought about creative ways to destroy them, like all kinds of stuff.
And no one ever thinks of that. What they're throwing away.
We're throwing away, like some serious genetics, and if you can end up keeping it, to small like that, and be able to actually transfer it to like a breeder that's actually, doing like that, knowing that it is strong genetics.
Yeah.
Well, because then your testing is only going to get more sophisticated and better.
It's
so you'll be able to do, eventually you'll be able to do terpene, blah blah blah, this, that, the other thing. So you'll be able to eventually give somebody a full, maybe not cannabinoid profile, but.
What would you call something like that? Like a decent amount of list of stuff they'd be able to like classify, or is there something within those?
Well, everything I provide is pretty much like the upstream stuff. So the terpenes has not been developed yet. We're still looking into that.
Yeah.
But there are companies out there that do the terpene profile. But at what stage of the plant, obviously, close to flowering department, we need to buy. Right. For my test, you're able to start testing a week after germination, right? In the seedling trace. If you want to do test for CBDA, you could do it. Mm-hmm. If you want to test for THCA, which is going to be developed down the pipeline, you can do that too. Sex testing. If you want to see, okay, I just received this clone, and I want to make sure that it's clean from powdery mildew. You can do that too.
Yep.
So very, very early on, before it's even present,
Right.
if that spore's there, it's going to light up on my test.
Now,
my
here's
God,
a question
man.
for you
That's
that
huge.
I've been
That's
trying to
super
have someone
huge.
verify with this spore thing.
Yeah.
Is my recollection, my thought process of it is, so you think of the leaf is all cells tightly packed together when you're looking at. So that spore, when it's floating around, it wants to stick itself in between those cells.
Yep.
So, in theory, plant vigor and health will, I would have to say, not let the spore get in.
Yeah.
So, but once it does get in, is it there forever? Is it systemic? Can you get rid of it? This is the question that everybody wants to know.
It's,
you know
it's
what I mean?
the ongoing debate that doesn't end. And it will end until there's a lot more research on powdery mildew and cannabis, if it's systemic or not. And unfortunately, there's not enough data to support either or.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, exactly. So
For now, everybody's just saying that.
Yeah.
Just go better go like that. Do herms? Do herms just come out color male? The male color or the?
it doesn't. My test doesn't detect for herm. So if it's male, it's just going to show up as male. If it's female,
So if it has that male herm like the so
the male
okay,
chromosome,
so, so it'll show up as a male if
Exactly.
it's a herm too. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, no. It's not. If it's a hermaphrodite, it's going to show up as a female.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the
Okay.
female
Right.
turns herm. You know what I mean? You're not going to get
Right.
a male
You're
flipping,
right.
so
You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
And
all the females will carry the female color in the testing.
Yeah.
Hermaphrodites can't be determined because it's all possible in the female gene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that-
Yeah. And we haven't been able to find a variant, if there is a variant or some type of mutation that causes that, that makes them more susceptible to stress that allows them to harm, right? So we don't know if it's some type of synthase pathway, an enzyme that causes it, like if a plant's in a stressful environment, that enzyme gets activated and all of a sudden it just
I always
ends
say
up
it's
harming.
nature.
Who knows?
So,
Yeah.
so you
Nature
probably
finds
can
a
test
way.
for,
Nature
like,
finds a way, exactly. So
So you're probably able to, hopefully in the future, test for that high enzyme.
Yeah.
Within a plant, so it makes it it's a high possibility that this one will turn into a herm if it gets stressed.
if it gets stressed, yeah.
Right. Versus
exactly.
a high or low.
Yeah.
How much
Exactly.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's gonna go places. I just love listening and talking about it because it's so crazy that you can just punch a hole off the leaf, give it to you.
Well, I mean, we've grown up in the age of pop this seed.
Yeah, we had
I'll
to wait.
I'll let you know in 3 months.
Yeah.
That's just built into our grower's mind. Like,
Exactly.
it is what it is. But seriously, to be able to shave that much time off of a project,
Yeah.
you can possibly add 2 more projects to your year because
Exactly.
of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And as I was saying earlier, for some people you have limits. So plant limits. So if I buy a pack of seeds with 10, and I'm growing those 10 seeds, if 5 of them are male, okay, that's 5 that I can immediately get rid of and start another 5 and keep my 10 constantly growing. This way I don't, when it's time to flower these plants, I'm not half of a room short because
Yeah.
I've been fucking around with males.
Yeah.
So I mean, that alone, as a small time grower, big time grower, doesn't matter what your scale is.
Yep.
That is so valuable, and I'm assuming. Well, I know it's not expensive. I mean, the service is very affordable. I don't know if you want to say how much.
It's very affordable.
It's very affordable. Yeah. I mean, someone. When I posted this on Instagram, someone was like, "I'm not paying $100." It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
They thought it was gonna be $100 per test. It's
No,
not
no,
even
it's not.
fucking
No, no,
close. It's
no.
like you're gonna seriously for $100 you can find out if your whole pack was worth even growing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Now, what is where can they find it? We give a little plug here.
yeah, where
Yeah.
how can we find?
So I have a website, curatedleafservices.com. That's my website, and I also have an Instagram page too, CLS Curated Leaf Services, and Facebook also. Curated Leaf Services. Curated Leaf Services.
Nice.
Yeah.
You gotta get a IG.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
yeah,
I have that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll plug it all in and stuff, man.
What's the typical customer wait time? So I contact you on Monday.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're booked up. You've got.
Yeah. So the wait time about 24 hours. 24 hours. It just depends how booked I am during the week.
Mm-hmm.
There are reagents that I need to constantly buy because I'm using reagents, consuming a lot of reagents. So it typically takes a day for me to re-up on my reagents to get the stuff that I need. Yep. If it's like something very small, if I already have the capacity to do it, then I could possibly make it there the same day. But
you said reagent?
Yeah, reagents like the chemicals. I use.
Right. I didn't. Yeah.
So it's,
you're spitting a lot of science. So I'm a huge sci-fi.
Yeah. So the reagents, consumables. If I'm doing like a huge grow, let's say last week I just finished 1,000 plants at a dispensary. So
you?
Yeah, just me.
Wow.
Yeah. So the reagents and consumables involved in that. I have to go get some more stuff, and it usually takes a couple of days. So no more than 2 days tops. Yeah, relatively try to respond 24 hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, better customer service.
Yeah.
Where it's at, word of mouth, shit like that.
Exactly, and a lot of customers I get, a lot of inquiries. Hey, I have some plans to sex. Okay, I could come by tomorrow. Oh, I still need like a week. So a couple of weeks. So hey, that's fine. Whenever you're ready.
I'll pencil you in.
Exactly.
But that's a good thing for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now in your head, you're like, okay, cool, I'll pencil him in. I got work next week.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's cool.
Now
I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So you said it's by yourself.
Yeah.
That's
I'm a one-man show right now.
Congrats.
Yeah,
that's how we all started.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta start from somewhere, right? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know of any other mobile lab like this.
And believe it or not, my first customer was in Delaware.
Damn.
I drove all the way.
That's what my next question was going to be.
Yeah.
What's your range? Will you go anywhere?
Well, to get that first customer, I did. I went all the way down. I went all the way down to Delaware. Just packed up all my equipment in the SUV. My fiance at the time, which she's my wife now, just by chance, she had a program in DC, so we just drove down there together. Just made a trip out of it, and I did the testing there, and it worked out great. And then it just kind of built up from there. Client there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the farthest I went is Delaware. I try to keep it New England.
Yeah.
New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont.
I've seen
Eastern New York.
Yeah.
Connecticut.
I've seen was it Plymouth?
Yeah. You saw that?
Yeah. They posted a picture on Instagram. The testings.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I was like,
I was there today.
I was like, he's just making his way around.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking awesome. And he was like, he's just making his way back down. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if that's him. I was like, hey, were you? Yeah.
Yeah. So today I went from Woburn to Plymouth to here. Wow. Yeah,
nice.
And going right back to soccer.
Hey, save the best for last.
Yeah, exactly.
Joint committee sessions.
That's right. What's your best method, you think, of your business's word getting out? What do you think's moving you the best?
I think it's just word of mouth.
Word of mouth?
Instagram has been great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instagram is great. Social media, I love it.
This should help.
Yeah, because it's just honest marketing, right? People, if they like
traceable.
your service, it's traceable too. If they like it, they're gonna talk about it, right? They're gonna
Yeah.
comment, they're gonna share it. So yeah, word of mouth is fine. I was doing some online like Google Ads and Google Analytics, and then I was like, forget it.
It's lost.
Yeah, it's like
so,
this feels so.
You can do it on your own.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple little things, post, boom.
Yeah, post, boom, and it goes viral on
Yeah.
Facebook, whatever it is. Like I had something about PM party mildew on Facebook, and I did a testing there, and just like overnight, just so many people would share, just went viral like crazy. Yeah.
Now here's something I want to bring up. It's kind of off topic, but I have to bring it up, and it's always nice to have because you just said it's nice to have Instagram. A couple pictures, a couple words, boom boom, post it. It's viral on on Facebook. That. Any of you heard of net neutrality?
Yeah.
You
I have.
You know what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah, they're trying to repeal the the net neutrality regulations, which basically says that everybody has equal rights on the net.
Yep.
The whole purpose of it is because Verizon, Viacom,
Yep.
the telecommunications companies
Cox.
feel that Netflix and Facebook are taking up too much internet.
Knew it was coming.
Too much internet.
And it's broadband. So they're taking up too much, so they feel that, they have kind of an edge on the rest of the companies. It's more of being really salty that everybody watches Netflix.
Exactly.
And the thing about Netflix, right, is that they're not under
YouTube.
They're not under Nielsen ratings.
Yeah.
So nobody knows how
Who's
much
watching
who's
what,
watching like that off
It's
of
just
Netflix
internet.
except Netflix.
Yeah, yeah.
And the whole industry is pissed that they can't get those numbers.
They can get, you know what numbers they can see? Subscriptions.
Well, yeah,
and that's enough to make them go, well, fuck that.
Exactly.
They go, but they get no detail like they normally do within a box and come like that. They want that, so they can end up, because the reason that Netflix has been able to crank out all these dope shows and new movies and like that is because they're able to algorithm who's out there and actually see, all right, there's enough people for something like this, there's enough people for something like murder mystery comedy. Boom, there you go. And that's what the TV, the Nielsen ratings, the movies, they want actors like that, and Netflix is like, go fuck yourselves.
Of course
they
you
won't
should.
do it.
So with the FCC thing with net neutrality, there's nothing they can do. But if there isn't net neutrality, they're going to be able to ratchet down Netflix and Facebook, in order to be the same, they have to charge them more.
So picture this: you're watching YouTube, and all of a sudden, pew, you see the little spinny guy on your phone or your computer. It's loading or whatever, loading, and then it goes, oh, you can't watch this. You have to subscribe $9.99 a month to use Instagram or Facebook or fucking YouTube. Exactly. It's coming December 14th.
Pay to surf.
Yep. Pay to it.
Pay to surf.
It's stupid. December 14th.
And if your site, if our sites are not registered, they won't come up on searches either.
Right.
You're gonna have to like another backdoor to like be able, to do stuff. And it's already been happening in Detroit. They've already started developing their own inner city internet because there's a lot of issues that a lot of the more poverty-stricken area don't have any internet access. So what they've been doing is set up small little satellites, and a small startup actually is starting down there, which is really dope. And I think that's probably the next thing to start doing within like other places as well.
I mean, that could be a major disruptor if this gets passed.
It's up, but it's the guy in there is just one of these like, oh, they're overreacting type stuff, whatever.
He was getting death threats and shit.
He still is. He still is. He's got because like it's serious. Because it affects everybody, and it's more
marketing.
And it's
everything.
all because of the telecommunications company. Feel that that other people are doing better. Let us kind of like restrict that. And they're saying, oh no, it's not gonna matter. It's no big deal. Like no big deal. It's like, go fuck yourself. No big deal. Take that. That's the deal.
Yeah, I had to just throw that in there. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to take away, but it was pretty interesting that they can actually do that shit.
But do you need a lot of technology to actually like
do a to-do list?
Yeah.
No, you don't. It's very basic. It's just a thermocycler that pretty much heats up the reaction. It's an isothermal reaction, but we add another temperature just to kill the enzyme, and it just pretty much just incubates during the whole time. If you wanted to do this, you could do this as well too. There's equipment you could get. You get a mini PCR, which is more of a smaller scale than what I have. I have a 96 well format, so I could do 96, 95 at a time.
Yeah.
So, but you can do a mini PCR where you can do 6 wells at a time, and do that yourself. But you have to get the capital equipment, you get the reagents, you need storage for the reagents and all this stuff. Or you just call me, Curated Leaf Services.
Now, are those chemicals, the reagents, are they bad? Or they have to be stored in certain
they have to be properly stored. Okay. Yeah, especially one of the reagents I have is so it's pH based. So the color change based on the pH. Yep. So the pH drops, it's gonna change. So if it's not stored properly, if it's out in room temp, if that master mix changes to a color, to a lighter shade color or yellow, you have to throw it out, and that's money, right? Mm-hmm. Go buy another one. So
just have it done right once.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a professional come in.
Yeah, we've been, like, there's some cuts, clones, man. People paying $2,000, $3,000 for like, like that, and they're like, who knows? It might have been already too stressed out or something.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That. It might pop out like a male anyway.
Yeah.
It's already,
I mean, I have people who had nightmares. They introduce a cloning to the grow and having PM, right? And guys pissed off. I just start scraps, but I'm able to save these plants. You just come and test these just to make sure they're okay, and then I do a test, and like there'll be a couple that pop up, positive, and he, just be so grateful. Oh, great, let me get rid of these, and at least I'll be able to save a few plants and just keep a watchful eye if anything, finicky shows up on the plants. To go back to your point about PM, if it sits, on top of the cells, but the way PM works, so if there's a spore, it sits on the surface of the plant, right? Mm-hmm. When it develops a mycelium network, it develops a thing called a haustoria, which is a permeable structure where it's able to absorb nutrients from the plant, right? So party mildew is it's a parasite. It's a host parasite. It's an obligate biotroph, and it uses the nutrients from the plant to be able to grow and sporulate, right? So depending on the plant's immune system, it's able to fight it off. Now, what's very common is once that plant gets into closer to flowering, about 2 or 3 weeks into flowering, that's when its defenses kind of drop down. And then PM uses that opportunity to start sporulating and start forming the mycelium network, and end up being everywhere. So the great thing about this test is to be able to detect it even earlier. So if there's a single spore on a leaf, be able to crack that open. I mean, as soon if there's a mycelium network, crack that open, and it'll show up positive on the test. So with PM, by the time you see it, it's too late. But the thing, if you can't see it, doesn't mean it's not there.
Exactly.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? So
that's what I always say.
So to be able to use this and utilize it, and say, okay, can you just detect it and see if it's there and present, and then you could do the necessary steps you want to either remove it or just watch it. But a lot of people tend to I don't want this.
Yeah, it's risky.
It's just the risk, exactly. So because it's not worth it.
Because some plants naturally just have a lower immune to that. So even if you got a couple different strain cultivars that might have the PM, maybe only 3 of them. Yeah. One will actually spore because it's got a weaker immune system.
Exactly.
Because whatever, Yeah. Just genetics, but. Yeah, usually I hear most people, if that PM is in their garden, it's out.
Yeah, it's out.
It's not even worth trying to contain. I mean, there are people that do contain or mask the PM, which is, always fun. But, it's nice that you can just, because I know a lot of people that I know that do end up with PM are getting it from clones. Yeah. And there's a lot of clones that are coming from out west because I think it's just the climate out west is a lot drier. And it's
and now with your tests, I always say, if you don't want to get fucking PM, don't fucking take clones from people.
Right.
So now with your shit, we can pop the seeds.
But then
wait a week.
But then I don't get the business.
No.
Well,
I'm just joking.
I think this is what he's saying. The motto was, don't fucking take a clone then. But now you can take the clone.
Yep.
And have you come test it.
Test it. Yeah, exactly.
But now if it's got it.
Well, then, you're back to square one where you decide.
Now you got to go back to the guy who, and is he going to give you your money back?
But at least it's not finding out 6 weeks later.
The hard way,
yeah.
The hard way, yeah.
That's I mean, if anyone's ever dealt with that, if you could lose thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, yeah. And think about the cannabis market for the dispensaries. They're dealing with, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars of plants, if not. And, to introduce a clone, because cannabis is federally illegal, they can't get insurance.
Yep.
Right. So they can't insure their products. Right. So, having this as a tool, it gives you a sense of insurance. Like, okay, can we just screen what's coming in and make sure it's clean before we introduce into the grower?
That would be the smart way to do things.
It's huge. It's definitely ends up really up in the odds because there's 101 things that can go wrong.
Yeah.
Especially and even depending on what kind of even system you have, from hydro to the new like everybody's cocoa cubes and perlite cubes. Peat.
Rockwool.
Holy crap! I named everything else.
Insulation. Did that come out? Oh no. Sorry guys, that was my bad.
To have these tests.
Yeah.
Lessons, all those different type of variables, and you start, can we concentrate more on the cultivation of it?
Yes.
And not have to worry about like, all right, am I going to have to like, well, I got to take at least other precautions to prevent this, but if I know it's tested, it's good. I don't have to worry about it. I can really focus on more stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
It's a time saver, like he said.
It's the currency of life.
You can't get that back.
Yeah.
You cannot get that back.
Time is the currency of life, and anything that you can do to save it, it's beneficial.
Yeah.
Pretty simple. I mean,
I love it.
There's not many shortcuts, especially in cultivation. There's not many biological free lunches. So to be able to actually time warp and figure out male or female, that's a huge, huge advance for like I said before, from a hobby grower to a cultivation facility.
Yeah.
It's a huge advance, and anyone that's really serious about getting that end product, the couple dollars you pay to find this information out, it should be just kind of built into your overhead. Just consider it cost in your grow to get this information quicker, because the sooner you have it, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah.
It can really launch, like I said, 2 or 3 more projects in a single year.
Yeah.
And you eliminate things that would just waste time and space. So, this is a really cool up and coming business, and I really hope that everyone jumps on board and takes your services and
check it out, guys.
You're doing pheno hunting. You're doing breeding. You're doing all this stuff is all beneficial to know what sex it is.
Yeah.
All wait around. I'm like, I can tell. I know how to do it. I'm like, I can look at it and just tell. I'm like, maybe some guys can, but maybe you're fooled.
Yeah.
Maybe you always say like, hey, I had a male that snuck in my room.
I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a decade, and I still look at some plants like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait a little longer.
Yeah.
Just have a guy come, test it out. Be sure.
Yeah.
Stop wasting time.
Yeah.
Because to test, even do testers, it's like 3 per year. If you do, like cycles, or even like faster if you end up doing like, what do you call it? You could add more time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. You can have more time.
Perpetual.
Perpetual.
Perpetual. Thanks.
I had it and I was like looking at you like I can't say it. I don't know why I can't say it.
Perpetuals. Yeah, but it just exactly. Like,
so what is it again? Say it again. Your plug.
Curated Leaf Services.
Curated Leaf Services. Is it .com?
.com. Yeah.
Curatedleafservices.com.
Are you free next week?
I'm free next week. Yep.
I'm gonna get your number before you leave.
Yeah, see, look at that. For sure, man.
Bond approved.
Definitely. Pheno approved.
Thank you.
Joint committee sessions
like that,
approved.
sure.
Thank you.
Definitely joint committee session approved.
Is there anything else you want to throw in?
Yeah.
For what else your service is providing? Because we didn't cover everything.
No, just basically it right now. Just
or any up and coming tests that you.
Well, I have some up and coming product that I'm developing right now. It's in the R&D phase right now, but I don't want to say too much.
Right.
Yet.
It's good though.
You've already got a lot on the table.
Leave them in suspense.
Yeah, leave them in suspense.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Is there somewhere like you going to any public event coming up soon where people can end up reaching you, like talking to us?
I was thinking about going to was it the Gene Traders? I was thinking about going to that, the one in Ludlow, Massachusetts.
That's him.
That's me.
Oh,
right?
that's what you doing. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's my event.
Yeah. Oh, that's your event. Well,
Synergy.
I'll be there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, other events, I haven't planned on anything else yet.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I've been just.
You should have tried to get out to the Emerald Cup. I know it's
Yeah,
Cali, but
I know.
It's there's a lot of cats out here that go out there.
Well, I have my business partner. He lives in California.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So he's out there.
Well, that's cool.
Doing intel and stuff,
nice.
Networking and stuff like that for me out there, so which is good.
Yeah. The East Coast is what's up, though.
Yeah,
right now,
of course. Yeah.
This is a
This is my home. I got
East
support my
Coast?
home.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Gene Traders, January 14th. He'll be there for sure. I'll be there.
I'll be here.
The committee will be there.
We will be there.
A lot of breeders, a lot of big cultivators, a lot of people coming to just trade old, rare genetics, new genetics, talk about stuff. We're gonna do an auction as well, just to kind of try something new, just so, because some people have those like in the closet genetics, like really like rare. They don't want to get rid of it unless it's like the right price.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start at the right price and then whatever, just to kind of see if people actually if something won't. But mainly people come in there to get their genetics and go.
Keep posted on that also, because I'm gonna work on TGA Will, see if he can send up some genetics, some of the new stuff from TGA, and possibly, I haven't heard anything back from him yet, but exotic genetics, Mike.
Nice.
Possibly.
Definitely.
So keep posted on that. Obviously January 14th. It's a little bit away, so we got some time to.
I like to make sure I plan a good events.
Yep.
I got plenty of time to talk to people and get decent. I make sure that I got really good genetics across the board. People that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they probably love to talk to you too as well.
It's the perfect event
Love
for
to
you
talk
to
to
go
them.
to.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really
It's
awesome.
about cultivation.
Is
It's
there
not
a
a
website
for what?
for the event? Is there a website for it?
Yeah, it's on the website. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's the
'cause I
links
saw it
on
Instagram.
the links on Instagram. Just
Okay.
Do you want
All
to
right.
say? Do you want to say the link?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so the links, it's on the Terps and Trike site. You go to the event section, and then you end up going to Gene Traders. There's a link right at the bottom. You see the flyer, you could also end up buying tickets there as well. I mean, it's only $20 anyway. You can pay at the door. It's no big deal. But some people are, at a distance. They want to make sure they get in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of people that, like I like to say, it's not just some people think that this is gonna be for people to know what they're doing. No, this is for like everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're like a beginner or you're a
Great.
air quotes master grower. Joking, but everybody needs new genetics.
Yeah.
Everybody. And the more also knowledge we have with each other too about what's going on, the better we would all be with all this share of information.
Oh, it's gonna be a great collaboration. Yeah. It's gonna be amazing. This is the first annual, or?
No. I've been funny. You remember that night?
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up picking up this event. I ended up going to a friend of mine. Shout out to Mr. Bean, I call him. He, I needed some new genetics. You end up going to some guy that he's got a whole bunch of stuff. He's a big trader. He ends up doing a lot of stuff. I'm like, man, you should have like an event or something like that just for this. And he was like, bing, light bulb. I mean, I already, manage events and different stuff like so. I knew, it was something that people could use.
Yeah.
I actually came to East Coasterdam's house, and we were talking about it. And originally I was gonna call it Seed Traders, but he's like, because it would be only seeds. That's how I originally thought about it. But he was like, well, why don't you call it Gene Traders, and you can include clones too, as far as like overall. I'm like, bing,
Genius.
beautiful idea. Something too. Like I threw up that day. Remember?
Yes, I do remember you throwing up in my bushes.
I have no idea why. I smoked something like 2 puffs and I threw up. I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe it was just like that. The gene, that great idea.
Yeah,
like
you're excited.
It was like
Anxious.
it was like that proof. But I got it for the for the help of the specific patients, because or caregivers.
Yeah.
Like say caregiver has a specific patients, but they have like everybody is reacted differently because their body makeup to each different plant is always different, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's tough to find all these different types. But
Yeah.
imagine if they were all in one place.
Yeah.
A real high CBD one, a real high THC one, a good mix.
Yeah.
It's the perfect farmer's market type venue for cultivators.
Right. But I repeat, it's not no type of typical sesh where you're gonna come in there and get a whole bunch of free dabs.
No, I just mean for genes.
No, but some people think like, it's not some kind of
it's cannabis.
Sesh.
Yeah, we can go get dabs and hang out and smoke.
Okay.
Not that type of event.
It's
if
not
people,
a session.
I mean, it is a session, and we want to promote that vibe, but at the same time, it's there to help people to get some good genetics, learn something, whatever. You want to sit down and smoke, but we're gonna have a decent conversation.
Yeah. It's all about
It's not gonna be hey, look at my rig.
Right. And then not people. There are people that the sponsors that make sure that look, some people might be new. You're gonna have to explain it to them. You say don't try to like hand them off a whole bunch of testers and tell them it's some top stuff like all stable when it's not. They're testers. Let them know what actually a tester is.
Okay.
And I make sure that I tell all the sponsors the same thing, and so you can walk up to a table and openly talk about maybe it needs a little bit more magnesium or calcium or something like that. All these little quirks.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
For sure.
Wow. Definitely gonna be there. Yeah, definitely gonna be there.
I was gonna say definitely bring some literature or business cards.
Yeah. Bring some brochures.
We'll put them at our table just so you can.
But to be honest, I want to go there to learn more than anything.
But I just think that's gonna be an epicenter for your demographic.
Oh yeah.
That's who you need to be talking to is everyone that's going there. Everyone that's going there is pretty much into cultivation.
Right.
So
and they're gonna be like, "Whoa, I can pay you this much money for you to do that." When are you free? Just like I did.
Yeah.
When are you free?
It's
okay.
A good consolidation of people.
Yeah, like I said, we got a booth. Give us the literature. We'll throw it out there. We'll gladly promote
Definitely
you.
committee approved.
Nice.
That'll be
Thank
on the table.
Thank you.
Sweet, man.
Yeah, put you on the list.
Yeah. Definitely do that. Definitely do that.
He's like, yeah, I'm going to Gene Traders.
Yeah.
And I can see him. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, you didn't see it. And I'm like, yeah, that's him right there. And you're like,
yeah.
That was cool. That was a cool surprise.
Right.
Well,
it was awesome having you, dude. That's
you, man.
hell of a shit show. You better push rewind and pause and play and rewind again because that was a lot of info.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. First time doing this and great experience.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Well, thank you everybody for listening.
Yeah. Mr. Bond.
East Coaster Dam.
Lupino. And our guest.
Wendell, Curated Leaf Services.
There it is. You heard it.
.com, Facebook, Instagram. Reach out to the man. Very professional. Discreet. On point testing. Quit wasting time. And get your shit together.
That's right.
Put it all together.
Check it out.
Put it in a bag. Get your shit together.
We out here.
Shout out Clean Roots. Shout out Buddhist Tree.
Oh yeah! Shout out to Gene Traders. Shout out Terps and Trikes. Shout out to Plymouth County Growers, man. Cool peoples.
Yeah. Great guys over there.
Yeah. Just shout out everybody. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it.
We love all the feedback. Thank you.
Tell your mom. Tell your friends. Put it in a box. Mail it to your uncle. All that good stuff.
Hi, Mom.
End of session. The Joint Committee thanks you for listening.